Sword?
Yeah, because I think people give him shit for not using them.
How do they know what he does and doesn't?
Well, I think that's the idea. Somebody also told him he should try the knife on himself.
Well, that's tacky. Big D.
So I haven't seen anything from Musicians Institute forever, and now today, Brian Nutter at Musicians Institute pops.
Maybe
up.
he's got maybe he's still working at all those places.
Okay.
Hey everybody, I'm Brian Nutter. When I'm not hanging out with you know, Keith Urban
and Taylor Swift.
Taylor, I'm teaching classes.
I make. Yeah.
Great. Certainly glad that we were on for that.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Well, I don't.
Look over and we're on. It's not even Brian's fault. I was doing that voice. I was doing that voice earlier for somebody else.
I know.
Yeah.
Me too.
We always do that voice. Don't understand, make me so mad.
Holy cannoli! Brian Duncan just gave us a super chat for $50.
Thanks, Brian. Hope you're feeling okay or feeling better.
That's right. Hey, everybody, this is Matt, and we're at Texas Toast Guitars, and today is
Thursday.
It's our 172nd live chat for a Thursday.
Is it?
I don't know. I just made that up. I mean, it could be.
Got the t-shirt, don't I?
Yeah. So you guys might not know this, but Brian Duncan, the very generous Brian Duncan, just had some elective surgery to get his breasts enlarged. No, he didn't. He didn't have elective surgery at all. He had to have, but he did have to have a procedure, and it sounds like he's doing good. Either that or he's like so hopped up on goofballs that he's giving away $50. So
maybe.
So we don't know.
Maybe that was Monday. So today's Thursday.
Dastardly Dave says Brian made him do it. Joey Dano says, "Man, it's Thursday already." Matt sent me email. No, I didn't get it, Doug. But you know what? Though I haven't been on my computer. So, but I will look as soon as we're done with the old live stream here. And whatever you say to do is what we'll do, amigo. Chris, how are you?
I'm fine and dandy, Matt. Yeah. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
How are you?
Well, I'm good, but tomorrow is going to be mega fun sealer day.
Oh yeah. No, it's not.
It's going to be mega.
It's going to be mega sealer day. I don't know that you can add the word fun to that.
Super mega awesome sealer day. Mm-hmm. So you guys might not know this, but we are in fact ad free, and thank you guys for all the super chats. Jay sent us $10 and said, "Brian made Dave make me do it." So yes, thank you, Brian and Dave and Doug and Jay. You guys really help us keep the channel ad free, and like Jay, for example, just signed up on Patreon for the Hondo a month to get a guitar one day. Cool. So that's cool.
Here's
Joy's here. Uh-huh.
We have to break $59 in super chats.
For what?
Because according to somebody I know.
Oh, well, we already did.
No, each.
Oh, yeah.
So that's $118.
Van Shank Guitar sent us a couple bucks and says, "I got paid today. Here's for no ads." Thanks, Van Shank.
Yep. So we're getting close because you got to be there. You got to do it.
Yeah.
$59. I'm not doing it.
Here's the thing. I like the no ads. I didn't know last Sunday was our first video where we're just not going to put any ads out, and it was a fairly well received video.
Yeah.
But it was a long video, and I know for a fact that a long video like that would be loaded with ads. So I didn't put any in. And you guys really stepped up to the plate and have helped us out with the no ads thing. But we'll talk more about that as we go. But Chris, are you ready for the lightning round of questions?
Yes.
This is the lightning round.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Okay, so right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have any idea what's coming. We haven't done a lightning round of questions in a long time.
I know. I'm excited about this.
So we're going to do lightning round of questions, then we'll get to your questions, and we'll answer them as fast as humanly possible.
Pencil as a buzzer.
Okay. Favorite animal?
Dog.
Favorite drink?
Beer.
Favorite breakfast food?
Bacon.
Cold weather or warm weather?
Warm weather.
Love or hate school?
Hated school.
Childhood best friend's name?
Mark.
Do you still have your wisdom teeth?
No.
Would you ever skydive?
No.
Have you ever broken a bone?
Yes.
Food you hate?
Sugar.
Hamburgers or pizza?
Hamburger.
Okay. You hate sugar?
No, it was a lightning round.
Oh yeah, it was a lightning round.
I mean, that was yeah, I envisioned in my head that you were Richard Dawson.
I am.
And the top 5 answers were on the board.
Yeah.
And somebody else answered before me. So,
hey gang, so we're here. We don't really know what to talk about tonight. But because not because there's nothing to talk about, because there's so much stuff to talk about. And I would love to take questions from you guys. If you put them in a super chat, obviously we'll get those. If you put a bunch of question marks, it is highly likely that we will get those. If you're wondering why we're drinking Budweiser beer, it's not because
Brian Duncan's fault.
It's not because we don't like Coors anymore. It's not because we don't like Odyssey anymore. It's just because this is what we had in the fridge.
This is what we have.
And
it's this and a whole bunch of stuff to make us get drunk really fast.
Yeah, I probably will drink like this much of this beer. So yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So Budweiser, the king of beer.
I could tell you this tastes very beery to me because I'm used to some other kinds of beer. If Jim sees this, he's probably going to go, "Hey, what's the big idea with drinking Budweiser?"
Several people will say that.
Yeah. So anyway, gang,
don't worry. It's only a few.
Yeah. Anyway, gang, we're going to be taking your questions, and we'll probably start bouncing stuff off of your questions and see if we can make a go at this here. Joy says, "There goes the Coors sponsorship." I don't think so. This is really more of a threat.
I think really what it's saying is we got no Coors products in the shop. And Matt and I are accustomed to a certain lifestyle and certain accoutrement, and here we are drinking Budweiser.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
even know why I'm drinking beer, frankly.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. And yeah.
Super chat from Joey Dano Guitars. Brian made Dave, who made Jay, who made Van Shank, and Paul S. I should do it. Ad free, babe. So, okay, did we miss one from Paul? Hold on. I'm going back here. Van Shank, Joey Dano, Brian. I don't see one from Paul. Paul, if you send us a super chat, thank you very much in advance. And you know what? Yeah, ad free. This whole corporate overlord thing, I'm so done with it. And like this notion of you have to sit through a bunch of dumb ads that you don't want to sit through, or you have to pay YouTube. It's holding your videos hostage from YouTube really is a sucky thing. So like when people say I have YouTube Premium or whatever, so I don't have to watch ads, basically what you're saying is you're negotiating with terrorists. You are saying we will pay you, and if enough people pay the YouTube people, then why would they not? Eventually YouTube might be something you have to pay for. So we're doing our part. You don't have to pay us to see these videos, but it's all completely voluntary. You're not negotiating with terrorists. You're not negotiating with corporate overlords. This is all something that you guys decided to do. It's like PBS, only with more beer. Okay, which is what we've said all along. Tony Leonardi sent us a couple bucks. Thank you, amigo.
Green.
Less
red green, and we're not going to make something out of a washing machine.
No. Paul sends $2. Thank you very much. Let's see. It looks like we're missing. Hold on. Black Dog Sheep. Did the feed go down, or am I the only one looking at a spinning icon? Yeah. Okay, so guys, we're experiencing some weather here, which might mean that, I don't know if you're experiencing that or
I'm not gonna hop on mine.
Yeah, we'll just
clog up the works.
I think we're going here.
I think we're still going. We'll go until we can't go.
We'll go until we can't go no more.
Bit of a first day of summer storm.
Yeah. Oh, is today the first day of summer?
Mm-hmm.
So that means it's the longest night?
Apparently, yeah.
It's just going to keep getting darker earlier. Okay.
Yep. That was one of the reasons that I did what I did this last weekend. It's because I wanted to enjoy the long days.
Good.
And yeah.
So Chris,
not so guilty about it.
I got a handful of questions from a fellow who I don't remember his name, but he said, don't answer because this is a long thing.
Okay.
He's like, what do you treat what do you put on the wood before you use Simtex sealer? And I'm like, 220 sandpaper. And he's like, no, what do you put on before you do that? And I'm like, oh, actually, you're right. We do use UV pore filler from Simtech, and then we use UV light, and then we use Simtech, and then, but before that, we use 220 sandpaper. And he's like, no, what do you put on there? So I have no idea what this guy's talking about. What do you think he's talking about?
What do you put on there?
That's what he wants to know.
Before the UV? So in between 220 and UV?
That's what I want to know.
Uh-oh.
We caught one.
Yep.
We caught a mouse.
Yep, we did.
All right, so what do you put on there?
A little bad. Our tender loving care.
Yeah.
An air hose.
Mm-hmm.
Tape, if you need tape someplace. If you don't want some of those products to get all over everything. Nothing. Yeah, it's raw wood.
What?
It's moving around over there.
Oh.
It'll be dead soon.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes from raw wood to UV pore filler to sealer, all in a day.
Mm-hmm. Do you wipe any like acetone or any of that stuff?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Do you ever use acetone on like real oily woods before you seal
them? I haven't had any real luck doing that.
All right. Have you ever used
before, but I haven't had any luck.
Yeah, this is a trick question because I actually kind of forgot about this. Sometimes sealer doesn't like to stick to those rosewood, Coca-Cola.
Yeah, so we do have a product that we spray on. That's a pre-sealer.
It's an adhesion
promoter. There you go. That's what it's called. Yeah, but we only use that when we know we're going to have an issue.
Yeah,
like when we built that rosewood icon.
Mm-hmm.
The dock hats.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we used it on that because we knew we were going to have problems.
I wonder if that's what he's talking about. Like, do you use any adhesion promotion stuff?
Yeah, only on woods that we're gonna, dark oily woods.
Yeah. Okay.
That sounds
All right. Tom asked me a while ago, and Tom, I haven't forgotten about you, but you asked me to roll some video or take some pictures of the new tool benches, which are awesome. So if you are one of the 3 guys who was here last time, we have all the new tool benches are in. So for the July workshop,
now 6.
Everybody has their own workbench.
Mm-hmm.
There's all the same tools are in everything, right? Like there's nothing that isn't in one that's in another. Mm-hmm. And they're
all matchy.
They're all matchy, and they're super, super cool. They're all mobile and agile and
full of style.
And that's right. And I like your style. Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually really neat. And yeah. We should do a gear rundown.
We should. One of the things that I like about them is there's enough empty space where if, like, say you're working on a strap, you can put the neck in the tool bench and the body in one. So it's virtually impossible, provided you put it away, for the neck or body to fall off the table. You know what I mean? Which is now on your mobile workbench that has more than enough room for you. It's got a beverage conveyance holder on the side. It's got a paper towel. It's got everything.
It's got a light.
It's got a light. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, these things are
they're
sweet.
actually really neat. You've got room for your cowboy hat. We had our first cowboy hat class, and there's room for a cowboy hat in there. Yeah, so he put his hat in when he was wearing his optimizer, which there's also room for.
Yep. Brian Duncan says, I'm loving my 12-string American Icon. Thanks, boys. Brian, we got your gold tuner replacement dealies in. So when you're feeling good enough,
come over and we'll you can slam them on, and then I can
check it out.
Decide if I like them or not.
Rusty Shackelford asks, what about naphtha? Like to treat the oily wood?
So we don't have any issue with any of the products that we use sticking except for dark wood
or oily rosewood stuff.
Not even all dark wood, just so, and not every piece of rosewood. Sometimes it works fine, sometimes not.
Yeah.
And so I don't wipe stuff down with naphtha until after sealer is on and stuff like that, when you've got a relatively hard finish on there and you're worried about getting grease and stuff like that off.
Every so often I'll use acetone to wipe down something before I like rosewood fretboard before I glue it on. But I don't always remember to do that.
Yeah. Also, I try and keep my hands fairly clean. I don't eat a bunch of salami and greasy stuff and then grab a bunch of wood. And I try and wash my hands after, both before eating and after. That way I don't transfer grease all over everything. I did one time forget and sprayed some sealer. I think it was a second round of sealer or something like that, and had to put more on because there were a couple of greasy fingerprints.
Eric wants to know, will the oil eventually come up to the surface over time to mess with the finish?
No.
Actually, if it's it won't take any time.
No,
it'll just happen.
Yeah, it'll happen right away.
Yeah.
It'll let you know. But no, later on it won't come back.
The Simtech sealer will not stick to rosewood. It's
not consistently. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, and sometimes it does just slightly better than other times. One of the best things that you can do is an adhesion promoter, or you can saturate it with super glue before. And you wouldn't want, so like when you're talking about like a guitar, if you made like the back and sides with rosewood, you wouldn't like soak the whole back and sides with glue.
No, you want to use the adhesion promoter. Yeah. But like on a fingerboard, you've got less than a quarter of an inch of stuff. You could you could run some super glue on it and then seal it up. That works okay.
Yeah.
We do so little with rosewood that gets painted.
Yeah.
Sealed and painted, we do a lot of binding, so there's not a lot of that. We don't use a lot of rosewood where the fretboard is exposed on the sides.
No, now this Black King wood, no problem.
Seals up like a dream.
Seals up like a dream. Yep.
Seals up like maple.
Yep. Plastic binding, no problem. Shoot that stuff right on.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Yeah. So
I hope that person is watching.
Yeah, because that adhesion promoter, they say you're supposed to shoot it on and then let it dry for 12 hours or something like that. So that puts you out, till the next day. So if we had to shoot every single guitar with that stuff and then wait 12 hours to shoot sealer, that'd be a bummer.
There you go. Brian Duncan asks, did you get any of the good gig bags in? I'll trade you. Yes, Brian, we did.
We don't want that crappy gig bag back.
Let's talk about that, Chris. And Tom, I see your question too. So, and we'll get to that. But we have been struggling with getting parts. So as our guitars grow in popularity, it becomes necessary for us to get more of, everything.
Yes.
So cases. Every guitar has to have a case to get shipped.
And every case has to have a box.
Every case has to have a box. Yeah.
And you'd like some other packing material in there too.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. There's a bunch of space where there's not a case. inside the box that you have to fill up with stuff so the box the case doesn't jiggle around.
And so our supplier, Ike from Flipside, is he cuts us a deal. He makes a couple bucks on the cases. We, get gig bags, and he also provides us with boxes. And it's a little bit of a learning curve and a growing thing.
That's it.
Going from, the few guitars that we sold previously to the amount that we sell now. And then you add in, a couple of miscellaneous bags getting sold here and there. And the next thing you know, oh shit, I'm out of bags again. Or I'm out of boxes, or I'm out of this, or I'm out of that. And it's not just gig bags, it's everything. And something that
what does every guitar need, Chris?
Everything.
Well, I understand, but like tuners.
Yes.
And so you don't want to just buy one set of tuners. You got to buy like 20 sets.
Well, and you got to be prepared for the future. So right now, what I try and do with everything is I try and have a dozen of every single part that goes into a Challenger.
Because let's face it, we're not putting together a dozen of a week. So
no, but sometimes I put 12 of them together in 2 weeks. And try and keep that number up of the stuff that we use constantly. But one time, I'm down to 6. I need to order more. I need to get back up to 12 or whatever. They didn't have it. Our supplier didn't have it. And so then you go, well, shit, okay, I don't really want to, pay full retail for it from somebody else. So I'll get just enough to get me by, hoping that they get it back in stock. But the problem is, if you're missing one part, especially if it's a pretty crucial part, then you're kind of screwed, right? You can't finish the guitar. You can't put the Mustangs together if they don't have wheels.
No. Or those little things that screw onto the door lock so you can pull them up.
Exactly. Yeah. You know how many cars weren't finished because of that? Lots.
Tens.
Thousands.
Lots. So like one guy bought a Challenger Deluxe, and you'll see that tomorrow in the reveal. He wanted all nickel hardware, which was a cool choice.
But we don't.
But it was like, we don't have any nickel hardware, so we had to.
And we pulled out the invoice. By the time we got to the build,
and we called him. He was totally cool.
Well, and you said we should look and see what this gets. Okay. And we look. Oh, he wants nickel hardware. Put the brakes on that one. Take it as far as you can, but didn't get finished. And that's the way it is with a bunch of them. So yeah, we're getting better at it, because one of the problems is, you start throwing a bunch of, you start buying every single part you need 12 times. It starts to add up to a little bit of a thing.
Or 112 times, and it's
well, and so we try and order stuff, once a week, once every other week from all these places, and have enough to get done what we need to get done within that time period. But and I've heard of other companies having this issue too.
It's kind of the way that it goes.
It is kind of the way that.
And if you buy if you buy tuners and bridges and as much stuff as you can from Hipshot, and Hipshot doesn't have it, then
The other fun thing is they don't ship if they're missing something.
We've asked them numerous times. I'm like, just send what you got.
Send what you have. And love the company, love their stuff. Wish they had more of it in stock. And I think it's the same with them too. They're not going to get a year's worth of tuners in at one time.
Maybe they do. I don't know. Tom says you can tent the guitar and heat the super glue into a gas that will stick to the wood. Well, that's pretty cool. We don't have a super glue tent though.
No.
Or a super glue heater.
Oh, this is like that thing from Beverly Hills.
I know. I was just thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Trying to find fingerprints on a turtle.
I wasn't always a cop. Greg the Walrus said he's just showed up. He was at work and he couldn't get away. So something must have come up. Okay. Curtis Chavez says, good gig bags, do tell. Well, so I don't know if you're talking to us or to, there's some gig bag talk going back and forth, but we're using the Gator transit bags. Oh, he built a base though. So
yeah. Well, but they make a really nice base bag too.
They do make a nice
one. Yeah, because Brian was talking about the good gig bag. So we didn't have any gig bags for Brian to take his Icon home in, but I did have, or any good gig bags, but I did have a bad gig bag.
It was better than
a towel in the back seat, but not much. So he took it in that, and the next time he came, he brought it back in that, and I think he was hoping there'd be, a nice gig bag, and there was not. So he had to take that cruddy gig bag back home again. And we told him we don't want it back.
We don't want it back, Brian.
Don't bring that back. I've pawned that thing off on so many people, and they always bring it back.
Yeah.
So
okay. Stinky Whizzle Teats says, I'm in India. It's hotter than hell. Oh, hold on. I have a guitar. I'm ready to spray. I'm just using aerosol lacquer. What kind of weather should I wait for to get the best results? So, first of all, spraying lacquer in ideal conditions can be loads of fun. Spraying lacquer in wildly hot and humid conditions can be like one of the worst finishing. I think I would rather French polish than do that.
Yeah.
And I hate French polish. Not the end result, but the journey. What say ye, Chris?
The only place I've ever sprayed lacquer is here in Colorado. So that's the only experience I have. The only paint I've ever sprayed is here in Colorado. Other than one time I painted my sister's ceiling with a spray gun in Nebraska.
With nitro?
Yes, with nitro. But it's way more humid there, and it took way longer for it to dry. I was a little scared that we were actually going to get some drips.
So what do you suppose the ideal conditions for spraying lacquer or really any paint is?
70 degrees, 50% humidity.
Okay, there you go. So if you're in India and there's any way possible you can get 70 degrees and 50% humidity, that's what you want.
So the humidity thing is really the kicker.
But you're probably never going to get that.
No, you're never going to get that. And I don't know about humidity in India. So I would worry more about the humidity. I've sprayed lacquer in 90, 95 degree weather. You can you can buy stuff to slow it down.
What are some pitfalls? Like say you're like, I'm just going to do
fast.
It. Okay, so what does that mean? Because I know, I know what the words mean. What happens?
It doesn't lay out.
Okay, so you get kind of like
it's pebbly.
Yeah. What? And then sometimes though you can shoot too much, and then shoot another one, and then
it'll blush, and that's where the top coat dries, but the bottom coat hasn't completely dried, and so it gets
this kind of
milky,
kind of foggy. Yeah.
And there's ways to fix that. They sell blush reducer kits, and that's something you can spray on, and basically what it does is it reactivates that top layer of lacquer, and then lets the other one off gas through. Man, it's been a long time since I sprayed a bunch of lacquer.
I don't know how cold it gets in India, but I would say that if you can wait until it gets as cold as it ever does, that's the time to spray if you're in
or spray early.
Yeah.
I don't know what it gets down to. I don't know anything about weather in India other than it's probably hot.
Michael was there, and I don't know. I don't remember him saying, "Oh, and by the way, it's oppressively hot during the day, but at night it cools off to exactly 70 degrees, 50%.
I love the 97 degrees.
Curtis asks, if you weren't working with Hipshot, who would you want to go with for your hardware supplier?
I think Godot stuff is pretty good.
Godot is nice.
I don't know. So the reason that we decided on Hipshot was because we liked their stuff.
You and I come from different backgrounds, though, with regards to like what this guitar would look like if it didn't have Hipshot stuff on it.
Uh-huh.
I don't know that I would say, let's put a wraparound bridge on it, but I might say, let's put a wraparound bridge on it.
Yeah. I was just thinking of tuners.
Okay, so
that's really where the whole Hipshot thing started.
Yeah.
Because, early on we were sort of having our own bridges made. And it came down to we were using Spurzel tuners and having some issues.
Yep.
And
I think Godo tuners are good, and I like Shellooe tuners too.
Yeah, those are good too. Yeah.
I like Shellooe bridges, but I think I really like if I was going to go with a wraparound or a stop tail Tune-O-Matic style bridge, I would go with the Tone Pros. I really like that stuff.
Yeah, that stuff's good. Yeah. So I think if we weren't using Hipshot stuff, we'd probably use a bridge from here and set of tuners from there.
Yeah, I can't think of anywhere that
The other thing is, I actually really like the Hipshot tuners, the open gear ones, on everything. Whether it's a 6 on a side or a 3 and 3 or a 4 and 2.
Yeah, the open gear is
whatever.
Where
they're really cool. They look good. They work good. They have a locking version.
Yeah.
So it's the one true and holy tuner for Texas Toast.
Yep.
They make awesome bass tuners. Their bass stuff's really great. I
Mhm.
love their bass tuners. And so so it sort of started there, and I think for a while that's all we bought from them was tuners.
Yeah.
And then we moved on to the bridge and stuff like that. So
Rusty Shackelford writes, why not, instead of charging for a case with each guitar, have a list of pre-approved bags and cases that each person can buy and ship them to you? Well, I mean, I get the idea, and we'll be happy to do that. But
so I have an answer for that question, and Glenn Tepper has an answer for that question.
Oh, can I
preempt my
it's
answer?
Not India. It was Indiana. Maybe I have it in my brain because Michael was in India.
Yeah. Disregard it. Actually, I think everything we said was probably
It still applies.
Yeah, still applies. It may not be quite as dramatic as India, but Indiana.
Yeah.
Is Indiana humid?
Yeah. Oh, I bet you it's
probably fairly.
It's probably
humid.
obscenely humid.
Yeah.
And there's probably those locusts.
The cicadas.
Yeah. That's the one
right now. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I forget what we were talking about, but let's talk about the case thing.
So case thing. One of the reasons that we use what we use every time is because we know how to use it and how to ship it.
It works.
It works. I know what it's going to cost. I know what box it fits. Boxes are a big deal.
Remember, you can't just buy one and then scurry around looking for another box.
We can't go to Guitar Center and go, hey, you got any boxes you're wanting to give away?
Further into that end, sometimes when you order, like Doug sent us some cases for his guitars, they're in like a nice box that fits just right.
There's two cases in that box.
Other times you get a case and it's in this ridiculously gigantic box, and there's all sorts of space
all flopping around, and then you put a 7-pound guitar in there, and it's even floppier. You can't ship that, and you can't you can't let stuff get damaged. And so one of the things that we decided, we've had just enough issue with things getting damaged by not shipping them in a proper container that we're not going to do that anymore. So the way that we look at, even though it's a really nice gig bag, it's packing. It's that gig bag is packing. And the other thing is it's lightweight. Some cases are really heavy and really, really shitty. So you have a shitty heavy case, and when you have a shitty heavy case in a guitar and it gets dropped, it's way, way harder on the guitar than it is in a really nice lightweight good gig bag
in a brand new box.
With other padding around it. And so everybody thinks, oh well, a case, that's got to be better than a gig bag, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
Not always.
Nope. Most damage almost everything that I've ever seen get damaged was because the package was really heavy and they dropped it.
My friend Richard Ryan got his Fender custom shop telly. This was in 2005 or something, and he came and the case was damaged. And he's like, I can't believe the case was damaged. This is a bummer. And they now that I need a new case, and I'm like, I don't know if whatever happened to this, but I remember saying to him, well, the case did its job. At least the guitar wasn't damaged, but now you have a busted case. So yeah.
And and maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow, because I think what I want the video to be tomorrow is 2 redos. And one of them is for Glenn Tepper, and he wanted a specific case, and we rounded up a case and we shipped it, and it got damaged. And I'm 99% sure that if we'd shipped it in our gig bag, it wouldn't have gotten damaged.
Yep. No worries.
For whatever reason. And it's because the case that we got it didn't fit. It wasn't the optimal fit for that guitar.
I'm going to put my glasses on to read some more, so I don't say something like Boston, Texas, or Austin, Massachusetts. Okay.
So and the other thing is, the ability for us to repeat this stuff over and over and over and over again. And frankly, we don't have, if somebody sent us a case and they wanted us to ship it in that'd be okay. But I think everybody should give these gig bags a try, because they're actually really, really nice. And I would much rather have our Gator Transit bag than virtually any hard case that I've ever owned in my life.
Yeah, I think so too.
Except for display.
Now, Rusty, here in answer to your question, why can't you not ship it? We have always said that if you don't want us to ship your guitar and you want to come here and pick it up and put it in whatever case you want and take delivery here in the shop, absolutely.
Yeah. So
we'll be happy.
The way that I look at a guitar, it's our guitar. It's your guitar. It's my guitar until it reaches that person's door undamaged.
Yep.
And after that, then it's their guitar. But it's my guitar until then. And I don't want my guitars damaged. I can't put up with that.
Doug Santaniello writes, by the way, Matt, I'm bringing a special Thunder case for my JJJ Strat. So that's cool. What's the special Thunder case? I'm excited to see what that is.
I don't know.
Doug's got, I don't even know how many guitars he's got
September?
Here. Yeah. But he also has that guitar in that case that you custom made for that.
Yeah, that guitar has been all the way around the world.
Yes, it has.
I shan't do another.
Twice
now. Yeah. I kind of wound up about guitar cases there for a minute. When things get damaged and we have to redo stuff,
I hate that.
Even though UPS, it's insured, all that. Man, it is so many hoops to jump through, and
it's a real hassle.
Much time that I frankly don't have to put up with that shit. And so you don't want stuff damaged, and you can't have it damaged. We don't sell enough stuff to have damaged stuff,
Robert Smith, who just recently got his Challenger 2.5, says he loves the Gator case that his guitar came in. Yeah,
they're cool.
I think that, and I'm not saying that nobody else makes good bags or cases or whatever, because a lot of people do, like the mono or nano.
Well, yeah, and I think those mono bags are really nice, but they're also really, really expensive. And we did some other cases, and they were pretty cool, but they were all right. They were a little heavy.
Yeah.
And shipping, gets expensive, and once again, boxes was a thing. And
apparently Rob's was a 2.75. I don't know.
2263.
299.
Yeah.
227.
Oh, that was a good show.
That was a great show.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what yours is, Rob. Yours is a 227.
227. And we played around with some of that stuff, and ultimately ended up with what we got. One, because we can get lots of them. Two, we can get lots of them.
If I had my druthers, I'd rather have a case with a leopard lining that absolutely form fits to the like I always liked the Gibson Les Paul cases that were hard cases but were formed. They weren't like a big square. I always liked those. But having as a fledgling guitar company to say, oh, by the way, we need to have a custom made case that perfectly fits this and is leopard lined and
that's like going to have gator make that.
Yeah, and I want it to be a certain way. Yeah.
Where are you going to have that made?
Yeah.
And how many do you have to buy? And we know the answer because Ike is doing that exact thing right now with some other stuff.
It's a great segue. So, yeah. Ike at Flipside Music, the great American guitar store, is going to be importing some cases of some dense but radiant cases of his own design.
Yes, yeah, and the idea is that he wants to have a little bit of his own accessory line, and so one of the first things that they're going to do is some nice cases, designed similarly to the Gator that we use, the transit bag, as kind of an outline, and the number of cases that you have to order at a time is a lot.
Yeah. Alan says, when you have a 3,000 plus guitar, $400 mono seems like a smart investment. Yeah. No one's smack talking the mono bag, but I think that
I think if we required every guitar to ship with a mono bag,
I think you guys would revolt.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So because everybody so Doug Cower, I think, ships stuff in a mono bag. Doug's least expensive guitar is $2,000 more than our least expensive guitar.
Yeah.
Now
you can swing a mono bag at that.
Now, Doug's not giving you the mono bag because he's so cool. You're getting the mono bag because that's what you're paying. That's one of the things you're paying for.
Yeah.
So keeping the price as low as humanly possible. If you guys want $3,400 base price instruments, I'm happy to give those to you. As a matter of fact,
step up the bag game.
We're more than happy to sell you a guitar for. As I've said so many times before, we can make a guitar that you will never financially recover from if that's what you want. Don't believe me? Let's try. If you're daring me to do that, then absolutely. Well,
sure.
We'll spray solid gold, whatever. Yeah.
Here's another thing, though.
The point I'm trying to make is you don't. Yeah.
If let's say, that you do buy a $4,000 guitar from us and we ship it in the $150, $140 Gator transit bag, whatever they are, and you get it and you decide, I want a better case, I want a better bag, I want a mono bag. Okay, great.
Yeah. You can always get a mono bag.
Give it to your buddy. Ship it back to us.
Yeah.
Take it to the music go round, see what they'll give you for it.
Jeffrey Egan writes, ad-free fund, and the Nocaster Maverick was zoo beautiful. Oh, Jeffrey Egan must have bought the Nocaster Maverick.
Oh, cool.
Is that right, Miss Joy? Do you know?
I didn't even realize it was gone.
Well, Joy took pictures of it.
And that's right. You told me that. Yeah.
And the pictures. Okay. Here's something. Here's a little mini rant. There's a big difference between someone taking a picture with their phone and somebody who is a professionally trained photographer with all the right tools and skill taking a picture of the exact same thing. So I can take a picture with my phone of a guitar, and it's a picture of the guitar, and it's a
pretty nice photo,
and it's good enough to go up on the website. It's remarkable what my phone can do.
Yes,
but I tell you what, when Joy takes a picture, you can tell it's Joy taking the picture and not me.
Yeah,
I have all. I could have all. Well, I mean,
you should do that next time.
Well, like Joy has like flashes that like go off with the thing,
even staging and all of that. You should fire off a couple photos and then look at hers and look at yours.
Yeah.
She can manipulate, and I just use the filters on the phone.
Yeah,
I like the amber. That's pretty.
You know what Joy won't do? She won't do like all black and white with just the top being in color. She will not do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like like all like a all black and white, and then like if you had a red coat on, she'd make you. She won't do that.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so thanks for buying that, Jeffrey. That I think you're gonna really love that guitar. That guitar is awesome.
Yeah.
It's loaded with like everything good. So and the finish is super killer. So
yeah. It turned out neat.
And by the way, Joy says it's photo tone.
Oh yeah. I was supposed to text her and I forgot. I got busy on a sparkly purple guitar.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna see that one. Before people ask, Chris, because it's getting on about time to wrap it up. Almost. Is there gonna be a reveal tomorrow?
Yes.
All right. Shark Air says Joy should take a picture of Matt so we can see what it really looks like. I don't know what that means. There's a lot of pictures of me that like I'm not like a little teeny tiny man inside a Matt suit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't look exactly like I do on the video, only taller or shorter. Maybe I do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, it's Rick Bernier sends a picture of you still.
Come on. Yeah.
To me too. Did you see the?
No.
You didn't see the one. I was taking a drill out of the drawer, and it's like, it's like. That's the picture.
Like a monster.
Brian Duncan. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, what am I doing? I was taking the drill out. Yeah. And it was, it was like, I was in the background. If I was a dachshund, I would have just been taking a big dump. That's basically what that photo looked like.
Lefty, there's no need for the camera to add 10 pounds. I did it already. Dylan sent us a super chat and said, just because, even though Chris called me twice this week.
Only twice?
I think what Dylan's getting at is that you owe him for the technical advisor.
Yeah,
technical.
Hey, I said I need your smarts and expertise on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he said, one of them he actually really did help me out, and the other one he said, I don't know.
Dylan sent me a message early this morning.
Sent expensive stuff to Belgium.
You might get to see what Dylan and I were talking about early this morning. You might not. I don't know what his plans are for his.
You were talking to him too?
Yeah, we texted back and forth a handful of times about some. Something.
The funny thing is, I call him and he picks up like instantly, like boom.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, "What?
What?
Yeah. You again?"
Jeffrey Egan says he's anxious to hear how Dylan's telly pickups sound because my Fender tellys don't sound very telly-y. Well, sir, I think you're gonna love these pickups because there's something different about a handmade anything than a
there really is. Yeah. Yep, I'm still amazed every time I finish up a guitar with Dylan pickups in it and I play it. It's like these sound really, really good.
Yep.
So
Pete says he has them in his and they sound awesome. Doug says the jumpsuits with Hawk Attack are great pictures of Matt. Thank you, Doug. And then he gives me this. Brian Duncan says, "Good show, guys. Glad to be back." Brian, I'm glad that you are back too, and can't wait to see you again, my friend. Let's see. Driddle says, "We'll take a picture of myself with my phone. I think it will automatically select an ugly stick filter." Dan says the last picture of Matt and Jim Jam Jimmy in the park are really nice. Okay, before anyone starts to think that Jim and I are taking windy walks in the park together, that's actually that is up in the that's in South Park, Colorado. Yeah. Jim's got some property up there, and yeah, so that's in the middle of.
Jim was up there last week doing some work.
How many feet? How many? What's the elevation? 9,000?
No, I don't think it's quite that high.
Okay,
but maybe close. Yeah.
Okay.
Seeing as how I've never been there.
Oh, okay.
I think South Park. I think Fair Play is about 7,500.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
And he's up above that. So yeah.
Okay.
What was I going to say? Oh, so he was up there, and then you and Joy went up for the day. One day over the weekend.
Yep.
So yeah, that's how that happened.
Jeffrey says, did you go on down to South Park and have yourself a time? Actually, you can't see it from Jim's place, but you don't have to go far to see they have an old school bus with a bunch of characters.
Is that it?
Yeah, it's near his.
Yeah.
No, it's not in town. No.
Is it just like out in the field?
Yeah.
Somebody's got a school bus?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dave says South Park is over 9, almost 10. There you go. Jay says in super chat form, another couple bucks because y'all are awesome and stay ad free. Chris, let me tell you, the ad free format that we're using I think it's terrific.
Mm-hmm.
I hate ads for. This never was like stuff for like stuff. It's never like sometimes it's for like, okay. Sometimes I get ads for Dave's Hot Chicken. I already know I like Dave's Hot Chicken.
I wouldn't mind seeing that ad.
Yeah.
Most of the ones I get, I'm like, man, we were just talking about this a minute ago. This is creepy. Why?
Yeah.
Why are they trying to sell me my own stuff?
Yeah. So anyway, if you're getting a bunch of ads for hemorrhoid cream or
we make this joke over and over and it never works, but it works with everything
anti-diarrheal. Yeah. You won't get ads from us.
You know what I'd like to know? The best way to kill a mouse.
I think we already know that one.
Well, we do know a way to kill mice. Yeah. And I'll bet you tonight. On YouTube, there will be a bunch of how to kill mice
and hemorrhoid cream. So
with hemorrhoid cream.
Yep. Doug says the ads he gets, the ads I get, do you have ED or PA? Tom says his beer bottle's almost empty. So Lefty says Tannerite for Mice Be Gone. You guys have a lot of great ideas. There's no two ways. I don't know what PA is.
I don't know either.
Peroni's, no.
It might be that one.
Pterodactyl.
Yeah. Pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl. Yeah. So anyway, gang, well, we're going to get out of here pretty soon. And before we go, I want to remind you that Dylan and his lovely wife, Leslie, will be taking you home for at least an hour tonight. I think they do an hour of guitar stuff and they do like another hour or so of other stuff, whatever.
I'm hoping Dylan opens something with a sword.
He might, dude. He might just chop the lid off in like super.
Dude, that would be awesome. Yeah.
He might
every week he lops off the top of something.
Yeah, but doesn't actually get the thing that's in it with the sword. It just cuts off the top layer of cardboard. So like if you send him, say, like a birthday cake, you wouldn't even put the candles out. That's how sharp it is. I don't know why you'd light the candles and then put it in a box and shit, but you guys get what I mean. Yeah.
He could light it.
Yeah.
And then cut it up.
Yeah. Chop it up. Okay.
Yep. Just like Forges and Fire.
Mike Beckloff says 12 gauge. That seems like you can water ski behind an aircraft carrier, but I don't know if you need that much horsepower for a mouse.
Too much boat.
You might have too much boat.
Might be too much boat for that mouse. Plus, I ain't got time to stand around waiting for the mice. I need something that I can set and forget.
Yeah. Usually I don't ever see the mice when I'm like this. They're like, I'm like, hey, yeah. And then, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did actually know a guy that had a BB gun and an easy chair and a house full of mice. And that's what he was doing.
That was the guy in what is now near Coors Field.
Yeah.
Right?
He bought the place for no money and sold it for a fortune.
Good
and
call.
It was a
dump. It's okay. It's probably a parking lot now.
It might be, or a condo.
Yeah,
I'm sure they tore it down. It was awful.
So anyway, gang, we got a few more minutes here. If you got anything, Jeffrey Egan says maybe he'll get ads for Texas Toast now. We've actually talked about like Facebook ad. The one time I've gotten a cool Facebook ad was for B&G guitars.
Yeah.
Now I've never met the guys from B&G because they're in Israel. And I hope they're doing okay. because that's a whole another kettle of fish.
Oh, I was thinking India again.
No, I didn't know they're actually.
You should ask them how to spray paint.
Yeah, they're actually in Israel, where I'm sure it's hot too. Not to mention some other stuff, but they make a guitar that's well, frankly, I think that our Icon is cooler than their little sister, and I think their little sister guitar is really cool.
Yeah, I like that guitar.
But I think the Icon is even neater.
Yeah.
No offense, because I like those guys, but yeah. I know they have a pin router too.
Facebook ads was that I think most of the response you got was fake.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You ended up it ended up getting seen by people that I don't think were actually people.
Oh, that's how they like attempt to get you to spend more money. Okay.
Yeah, because you'd go back and you could actually look and see who looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was
sweet. So excellent.
No, that was a long time ago, so things have probably changed.
Victor says Icon reminds me of a ES 125. What was it? Was the 120 that had a cutaway? Yeah, that a Florentine cut, or was it no cutaway? Victor, let me know, because I can't remember just right off the top of my head. So maybe I should look it up.
By the dollar nomenclature, that was a fairly cheap guitar.
That was the 175 was $175, right? And I don't know. I don't know when they stopped doing that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Mike says he just accepted the mice in his old apartment and they left me alone. So yeah.
It's weird that we're having that problem now.
I know, usually in the winter is when that happens.
Early, when it first starts getting cold out or something like that. So we must be doing something wrong.
Tom says Gibson L5. Yeah, I can see that a little bit. I saw
a lot of influence.
I saw a Scott Byram had a guitar that was a Les Paul sized hollow body, no cutaway that he was playing, and it was on like a radio thing. And for all I know, it was a real thing Gibson made, or it was some fake thing it wasn't a fake thing because he had it. Somebody,
tried to make look old or made look old.
It looks like Curtis says the 125 doesn't have a cutaway. So yeah. Okay. Doug is recommending Little Red Snakes to let them run around.
And then what do I get rid of? Can we get mongooses?
If we had Cobra, then we would need some mongoose.
What gets rid of the Little Red Snakes?
If it's a Cobra, you need some mongoose.
Well, I know that, but
mongooses.
I'm assuming that my pet mongoose could also do the same with Little Red Snakes.
Okay. I don't know.
I'll just keep setting traps.
That's probably the best.
So the big question that was answered today was, do mice like butter?
And
the answer is yes.
Well, we don't know what we caught. We assume it's a mouse. It could be a little red snake.
It could be a red snake. Yeah. Because they didn't have any peanut butter. Remember all that peanut butter that we had? Because Matt
ate it all.
Asking people, we donated some,
but I ate most of it. Yeah.
And anyway, there's no peanut butter in this shop.
Send more peanut butter.
And really, the only thing that I felt like I could smear on there was some butter. So I put butter on the traps.
Yeah.
And it worked. Who knew?
Pete wants to know, how's the 2x4 SG? Well, Pete, funny you should ask. I actually just glued the neck in today.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have anything to say about it, which I probably don't, but I think that it's high time to get it into pore filler tomorrow.
Okay.
But there's 9 or 10 guitars that are ready for pore filler, so it may or may not happen.
If there's that many, it's going to be a 2-day process.
Well, maybe we just do all pore filler
tomorrow. Yeah, well, except that I don't think that fills out the day enough, and
okay.
I want to do some sealer too. So
okay,
yeah. People think that I just sit around and do nothing.
We
didn't even talk about the topic.
Sure, we did. What
are we liars?
Oh yeah, are we big fat liars?
Guess not. Actually, this sort of makes us liars. Yeah, they're going to talk about if they're liars. They never talk about it.
Joyce says no peanut butter and no Coors. Sad day. Mercy.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another day.
Yeah. So we got a good reveal tomorrow. We got 1, 2, 3 guitars for a reveal tomorrow.
At least 2. There might be 3 that we could show off.
That one, and the one that's that.
Oh yeah, yeah. So 2 redos and a new do.
So we're gonna be talking about that stuff.
Lots of stories, story time galore.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. But guys, it's time for us to get down the road, and I want you guys to go check out Dylan and Leslie over at Dylan Talks Tone. Tell them the guys from Texas Toast sent you. Ask Dylan about his new Nighthawk, and I'm sure he'll be happy to talk to you about it. And we will see you guys tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, for a super cool reveal. 1, 2, 3 cool guitars, each one different than the last. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night.
Somebody.
That's right. Each one going to someone. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.